In May 1829, the story of viticulture began when Captain Fremantle instructed the men to clear and dig the land for a garden near the mouth of the Swan River. Captain James Drummond, being a professional horticulturist aboard the Parmelia, brought rooted vines from England. These vines were planted in Garden Island, but again there's no record of their survival. Within a few years, vines were grown from Champion Bay in the north to Albany in the south. The first wine was produced at Olive Farm near Guildford in 1834. It wasn't until the first decade of the 20th century that the production of wine grapes took off. By then, over 4,000 hectares of land were under vine. After the First World War, the Swan Valley was subdivided for vineyard settlement by ex-servicemen and immigrants of southern European origin. Farmers throughout the Upper Great Southern and the Southwest began planting currant or wine grapes as a sideline. This first stage reached its peak in 1948. After 1948, the wine industry in Western Australia underwent significant changes. Due to soaring wool prices, farmers in the Southwest and Upper Great Southern abandoned their casual grape production. In the Swan Valley, vines situated on poor or badly drained soils were also abandoned. The export of grapes to Colombo, India and Europe also declined due to the phasing out of passenger ships and mail liners from the sea routes to Australia. Although wine production nearly doubled, the imports of wine increased sevenfold to the value of $14.5 million in 1978. At the same time, the increased popularity of table wines saw the consolidation of the Swan Valley as a centre for the local wine industry and led to the establishment of vineyards in the southern areas of the state. In 1963, the Department of Industrial Development was investigating growing grapes for wine at Mount Barker. By the late 1960s and early 1970s, vineyards were being established around Mount Barker, Franklin and Manjimup, and also around Augusta, Margaret River and Busselton. The marriage of a booming wine-growing region with tourism created a dynamic industry with distinctive wines featuring a unique regional flavour. This variety is evident in the range of labels from Western Australian wineries. Leading local wineries concentrate on premium quality wine, and their success in capturing an estimated 20% share of the premium wine segment of the national market. Yet only 2% of the nation's crush is in Western Australia. Pioneered by John Roche at Franklin, Tom Cullity at Cowramup and Tony Smith at Denbarker, commercial plantings made in 1967 soon startled winemakers and wine connoisseurs throughout Australia with the excellence of the award-winning wines from these areas. This interest extended to overseas winemen, and one of the most famous of the world's winemakers, Robert Mondavi of California, introduced new winemaking techniques for wines produced along the Lewin Way. The true value of the region can be measured by the quality of the wine it produces. Already the Lower Great Southern and the Southwest stand in a preeminent position among the premier wine regions of Australia. The quality of the wines will be further enhanced as the vines mature. Western Australia is poised to realise its viticultural potential. Suitable vineyard lands in Western Australia are less expensive than in other wine-growing areas of Australia. In 2005, the varieties of grapes grown are for whites, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, Semillon, Verdelo, Traminer and Riesling. The reds, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Pinot Noir, Shiraz, Merlot and Malbec. Perhaps more varieties could be found.